So I had taken a break from Sekiro for a good minute, and then I got the PS5, and now I've been doing multiple runs of Bloodborne and Sekiro, and I rekindled a lot of my love for it. And I really like the introduction of the gauntlets and the reflections of strength. So this is sort of a collection of some of my favorite bosses, and I fucking love Demon of Hatred. It doesn't really, it feels out of place in Sekiro, sort of, but I love it because of how reminiscent it is of Bloodborne bosses, and in this game it is very fun. So the first phase is easy. I mean, I understand why people might think Demon of Hatred is difficult, and I've said this before. Really, this move is the most fucking annoying, I feel like, in the first phase, because you want to run to his right side, but the swipe of his left arm is so big that it catches you. So I usually just deflect, and I end up taking fire damage, but that's okay. It's better to deflect and take some than to get hit full on and take all of it, because then you're just kind of fucked. The second phase is, I mean, I guess it's harder. He gets new moves, but it's alright. This move is new, but you just grapple to him. It's not that bad. Take some swipes. The one move that he has in the second and third phase that doesn't get shown here, and always deflect that when he tries to slam you with his right arm, is he will send out the flaming idols. Just run circles, and you end up at his crotch. Smack his crotch. It's important to stay on his crotch and his ass. And be aggressive. Don't put a lot of distance between you. In here, we just grapple. Now, the third phase is not really going to be a phase because I'm using the malcontent, which the malcontent, it might be a little bit bullshit. It might be. I mean, it's not as cheesy as running him off the side of the map and not even fighting him at all. And then people be like, oh, I beat Demon of Hatred. No, you didn't, actually. But the malcontent is kind of bullshit because it completely makes the third phase. No, it's not even a phase. So here, use the malcontent once, go in, empowered mortal draw, R1, R1, R1. He staggers. He'll come out of the stagger, do the malcontent again to stun him. 2 empowered mortal draws, I think, 2, and he's done. So, not even really a phase. And even if you don't do the malcontent and you just do that phase, just fighting him like the first and the second phase, it's not that bad. It's just the second phase, to be honest with you. But one of my favorites, and I fucking love Demon of Hatred. This is a boss that I have come to love. Before they introduced the most recent patch, I guess, and did the additions of the reflections, I didn't do Shura very often, so I wasn't as practiced with Fire Isshin as I was with Sword Saint. Sword Saint is my favorite boss in the game. I always wanted to do Sword Saint. So. But I've played a lot of Fire Isshin lately, and I still love him. He's still one of my favorite bosses. It's not a difficult boss. It's nowhere near as difficult as Sword Saint, but fun. And the first phase is all about, again, deflecting. If you run in when he's not doing anything to try to hit him, he'll do the little side swipe, just deflect it. His grab and the grabs in this game are fucking bullshit. His grab is really the only thing to watch out for. So the first phase is all about deflecting and doing a forward attack. He will always open the second phase with this, where he sends fire out and then he runs in and does his batshit sword thing. The second phase is all about knowing when to get behind him. So you will have to deflect, like here when he's doing these swipes. However, like, somehow I get hit right here. I just wasn't paying attention. So like this, he's going to do a fire AoE. There might be a time where it looks like he's going to do an Ichimonji. And you would normally deflect that, like right here, but you want to get behind him, actually, because you don't want to get caught up in all that, because you'll get fucked. So if the first phase is all about knowing how to do a forward attack, the second phase is all about knowing when to get behind him to attack. And that way it reminds me of the Nameless King a little bit, because in Dark Souls 3, Nameless King kind of mixed up timing and rhythm, and I feel like Fire Isshin's second phase mixes up some of that muscle memory in all the right ways, and it's a fight that I really love. I've come to love it quite a bit. I think it's spot on. This is my favorite fight in the entire game, and I think for me, top 3 in all of Soulsborne. Maybe top 5, top 3, yeah. Up there with Maria, I think, from Bloodborne. The first phase, all about deflecting, and it's not hard. You can deflect this. I like to run and then go in after he completes it and just get a couple of swipes. He will have 2 thrust attacks that can be Makiri, that's one, and the other one is fucking obvious because, as you see. And everything else is, I mean, I don't know what to say about the first phase. I feel like the first phase is just kind of getting you acclimated to Sword Saint a little bit, and just sort of, it's sort of like getting your palate ready for what's about to happen. And this is what's about to happen. The second phase, he's far more aggressive, has an all-new moveset, so it's different. And it's more punishing, his combos are longer. So the best thing that I can tell you to do is to master the first phase so that it's never an issue, and then go into the second phase and learn it. His moveset is not extensive, it's not huge or anything like that. It's just, if you start to get fucked by a little bit of it, you're probably going to get fucked by all of it. So knowing how to deflect is important, especially in later new game cycles, because your posture bar is going to fill quicker. So like right here, he will have a move where he hits you with his sword and then his spear really quick. You got to know how to deflect, bang bang. And then the third phase is just the second phase with the addition of lightning and one other move. This one, actually, which you can deflect or you can move to the left or the right. It doesn't matter. It's not an issue at all. After all these years now, my opinion has not changed at all on this fight. I think it's one of their best. Up there with Maria from Bloodborne and Ludwig and Artorias. I think it's... I can't honestly find any fault or flaw in it. I mean, nothing is perfect, obviously, but in terms of video games and bosses, I can't really find any fault or flaw in it. Inner Sword Saint is interesting in how it mixes some stuff up. Some of the moves will track you more, so like you can't just jump out of them, you can't just run from them. It's really cool, actually, how they mixed up Inner Sword Saint. So, I mean, all these years later, if people are coming to this game and still struggling with Sword Saint, the biggest piece of advice I could give you is to not get frustrated, and if you die, who gives a shit, as long as you're learning something. If you're learning something and you know how to, if you know how, oh, hang on, watch my beautiful skills right here in action. And are we gonna get it? No? Again, oh, fuck, god damn it. I don't claim to be amazing. Anyway, if you know how a move begins, and you know how to deal with it then, and you know how to, you know what the tail looks like, you know how to punish it at the end, you're fucking fine, and you're gonna do just, you're gonna be okay. Just don't worry about dying. Worry about learning, and you'll get Sword Saint. And once it unlocks, you'll never not know how to deal with Sword Saint. I love this fight. I love the first Owl fight. However, I have never learned a good rhythm for it. It feels awkward to me, this fight. And it's me, it's not Owl. I just never really found a great rhythm, a dance to it. When he does that, you actually want to dodge in behind him. I dodged out right there because I wasn't sure. I guess at the time I got confused thinking I wouldn't have enough room to dodge behind him, because I try to keep Al on the ropes here a little bit because he becomes a bit more predictable in what he'll do, and I like that, but even still it's not perfect. So the second phase is arguably more dangerous, clearly, but I feel it's more dangerous only if you get trapped in the debuff of not being able to heal and you also get poisoned. Poison in this game is fucking worthless. It doesn't do anything, to be honest with you, unless you're not able to heal through it and you're not paying attention. Then it might be an issue. But, whatever. Other than that, I mean, he has the same basic moveset from the first phase. And one thing to note, however, is that if you do get debuffed and you can't heal, one of his combos where he comes in for a hard hit, and then normally he would throw this to set off the debuff, he will now follow up with multiple swipes. So you have to be ready for that. And don't be afraid to use the Mortal Draw or the Empowered Mortal Draw against Owl. A, it fucks him up. B, it's not incredibly cheesy. And C, it fucks him up. You don't have to. You can just do regular R1s and just be super aggressive and take care of him like that. It's fine. But I like to use the Mortal Draw on him to get it over with as quickly as possible. And I don't find it, even though it is overpowered, it's not horseshit. So those are some of my favorite bosses in Sekiro and how I still like to deal with them. And even on PS5, all this time later, this game is still a fucking masterpiece. And I love it to death.